"I prefer individual sports, like wrestling," James said and grinned, just for a moment, up at Phil. It was the kind of locker room remark that couldn't be misunderstood from one guy to another. He meant wrestling with, for instance, Jacqueline and Michaela. And, just at that particular moment, Phil couldn't help grinning back. He couldn't summon up any righteous disapproval. Even with James, it took a long time to dig the hole. It was wider than Phil would have thought necessary. When his shovel finally chunked on something solid, he found out why. "It's the vault," James said. "What vault?" "The burial vault. They put the coffin inside it so it doesn't get crushed if the ground collapses. Get out and hand me the crowbar." Phil climbed out of the hole and gave him the crowbar. He could see the vault now. It was made of unfinished concrete, and he guessed that it was just a rectangular box with a lid. James was prying the lid off with the crowbar. "There," James said with an explosive grunt as he lifted the lid off and slid it, by degrees, behind the concrete box. That was why the hole was so wide, to accommodate the lid on one side and James on the other. And now, looking straight down into the hole, Phil could see the casket. A huge spray of slightly crushed yellow roses was on top. James was breathing hard, but Phil didn't think it was with exertion. His own lungs felt as if they were being squeezed flat, and his heart was thudding hard enough to shake his body. "Oh God," he said quietly, and with no particular emphasis. James looked up. "Yeah, this is it." He pushed the roses down toward the foot of the casket. Then, in what seemed like slow motion to Philip, he began unfastening the latches on the casket side. When they were unfastened, he paused for just an instant, both hands flat on the smooth surface of the casket. Then he lifted the upper panel, and Philip could see what was inside.